This Raw Vision video is brought to you by Metro Solar, proud partner of the Richmond Football Club.
Goes long in the end. Riewoldt! Here's Jack.
He's got a great strong take by Jack Riewoldt. Going left and around the body here. He's done it brilliantly. Doesn't matter how you do it, that's just sensational. Beautiful left foot pass. To the advantage of Riewoldt off the ground. Another goal, Tigers. That's his third.
There's some serious talent in that kick.
Yep.
Well, it's taken us 9 years, but we've finally got our man, Jack Riewoldt, star forward for the Tigers, joins us for the first time. Welcome to you, Jack.
Thanks, Jared.
Geez, it's a conventional full forward stroke power forwards at the present time. You're in good company. You waited for 9 years for Mike to give it away, and you finally joined us.
A bit more of a comfortable environment, I reckon.
You know, the first thing that strikes me is how lean Jack is. I mean, it's the build of almost a midfielder these days. And just thinking about when you started 9 years ago to where you are now, how has your game and your body changed?
Well, certainly, Jason, over probably the last 2 years, I've certainly trimmed up a lot.
Yep.
Probably haven't lost as much weight. In the 2012 final, I played at about 94 kilos, and on the weekend I was about 90, 91. So it's just basically developing as the game moves on and not being a one-trick pony. I think 2010 I played a lot of inside 50, but sort of got found out in 2011 and 2012, and then had to go to a different part of my game. So just sort of increased my fitness, and with that, just trimmed down.
Has that affected your marking contest, Jack? Do you feel less strong, or you can cover the ground more, or how do you feel in those one-on-one contests?
Yeah, look, Brownie, I've probably lost a bit of brute strength, but it's refining your technique then. It's being able to use, probably for me, the strongest part of my body is my hips and my legs, so being smarter with that, obviously with the push in the back rule coming in as well, the sort of slight movement of the hands as well has sort of taken those contested marks out of my game and out of a lot of players' games too. So it's about sitting down and discussing with the forward line coaches and people about the game of what's where I see myself as players.
Do you do many weights anymore?
Yeah, I do weights sort of 3 times a week. So for us, it's the training workload and the running that we do midweek has certainly gone up in the 9 years since I've been in the AFL system. And look, that's all part and parcel of the game evolving.
You mentioned 2010. That's when you kicked 78 goals, your best total. Is the dream of 100 there in any way, shape or form, or has Dimmer sort of kiboshed that and that's a thing of the past?
Look, I think there's been a couple of passing comments in jest at the start of this year that he'd like to see me kick 100, but for us to go forward as a forward line group, we need to have more sort of multiple options up forward. For us, we had 11 goal kickers on the weekend, 7 multiple goal kickers. So, look, I suppose the encouraging signs are the Ben Griffiths of the world starting to kick multiple goals. Our half forwards, Nathan Gordon has 20 touches and kicks 2. Sean Grigg plays at half forward and has 26 touches and kicks 2 goals. So, finding avenues to goal and being, I suppose, a side that's got a lot of strings to their bow is really important.
You are a talkback show's best friend, though. I reckon there's more talkback on Richmond about where you play in particular and the relationship with Damien Hardwick as to where you play than just about any other topic. And I know Jason, half in jest, was talking about this earlier in the program.
Well, look, it is. I suppose it is a topic that a lot of people bring up. And full forwards are just naturally they're people that I suppose draw the attention because they're obviously at the scoring end of the ground and pivotal to successful sides. But look, people can ring up radio stations and you guys can say whatever you like. Ultimately, it's the cockroach's decision when he's sitting in his 4 walls, and for us to go forward, as I said before, and the way he sees our forward line structure, and I fully buy into the way he sees it, is me playing up the ground and sometimes playing deep, just continuing to play my role.
The structure's changed a bit though. Griffiths has taken Vickery's spot. It's going to be tough for him to get back in.
Yeah, look, Tyrone was impressive on the weekend for our twos. He kicked 3 goals, but certainly at the moment Ben's playing a great role for us up forward, but he's also been very, very impressive in the ruck for us too. He's 198 centimetres and 98 kilos and one of our best runners as well and really quick. So, look, there's going to be times this year too where I think that we'll probably go to 3 tools up forward. So Tyrone's certainly putting his hand up at the moment, but unfortunately the guy that's in his spot is playing pretty good footy.
Showing genuine improvement in that forward 50. What about the bloke at the other end? Alex Rance, what's he going to do? What's your gut feel? You must be in his ear, surely.
Look, I'm not in Alex's ear at all. For him, it's, I suppose, the contract talks are there, but it solely comes down to what he decides to do with his family. Look, he's a fantastic teammate, he's a fantastic person and a fantastic leader around our football club.
There was an article over the weekend suggesting that he may walk away from the $1 million contract. It took us all a little bit by surprise. Would Rance walk away from the millions? And I guess Rance wants to travel and is seriously considering walking away from the game at year's end, retiring at 26. A column from Michael Gleeson. I don't think too many of us believe that. We've been down that track with Dane Swan. His last game was going to be in 2014, and yet he's still playing and playing particularly well.
Yeah, look, for us, I suppose those comments are Alex's, and I suppose look, ultimately it's his decision. If he decides to leave the game, we've seen the NFL players leave at 23, 24 because of the seriousness of head trauma. But if he decides to take that path, then he's a great friend of mine, a great friend of a lot of players at our football club. We'd support him with whatever decision he decides to make.
He's probably nearly the best defender in the competition now, but surely he plays on you a lot of training. What makes him so good now as a defender?
Look, I'd certainly agree with you, Brownie, in saying he's probably the best defender. His ability to play on talls and smalls, he's really quick, he's really fit. Benches 150 kilos in the gym. But for him, I think his actual footy nous is improved. He really thinks about the games. He's strong in our meetings, but the ability to win the ball back is something that he's certainly under his bow. We saw that in the Bulldogs game where we lost, but I think the biggest stage we saw it on was the Sydney game in round 23 last year when he had 4 or 5 intercept marks in that last quarter and was obviously a very strong point for us winning that game.
Talking about key defenders, you're coming up against, form-wise, one of the best in the competition Friday night. I've seen Tom McDonald over the first few weeks for Melbourne. He has been an absolute star, taking on the number one forward. Have you played on him much?
Yeah, I played on Tom last year. Look, and it's exciting for the competition to see these young, strong key defenders coming through. So he's probably a little bit in the mould of Alex Rance. He's very strong. He's super fit. I know he's right up there with Melbourne's most fittest player. And the way he gets the ball too, I think he's had over 25 touches a couple of times this year already, so he can hurt you offensively as well.
Yep.
So for me, if he does go to me, it will be quelling him defensively and then trying to work off him and play my role for the side.
Do you get stuck into your opponents? So if you're coming up against McDonald, he's a younger bloke this week, do you sledge your opponents?
Probably don't sledge my own direct opponent, Brownie. More sort of other players' opponents.
Those that are drifting by.
Yeah, just little slight passing comments. Yeah.
A couple of flybys. Dustin Martin, his work rate is gone through the roof in the last couple of years. He's a phenomenal player to play with.
He is. It's hard to describe what Dustin's like. He's an absolute brute.
Good example here of working hard, because he starts at half back and he ends up getting it from you and running into the goal square.
Well, that's it. And for Dusty to take his game to the next level, it was turning from a fully contested player into that nice balance that we like to have from our midfielders. Certainly playing forward as well. We saw last year that he was able to impact on the scoreboard. But look, this is the sort of work rate we expect from Dustin, and it's not through anything bar hard work in the summer.
What will you be doing post-footy? What's on the agenda?
I'm not too sure yet, Jason. I obviously love footy. It's probably the only thing I've known since I've been sort of 13 years old, and I've been around senior footy clubs since I was 14 years old. My old man played a lot of games in Tassie, but I enjoy the game. I love looking at the trends and how it plays, but yeah, I'm not too sure yet.
You're a player. What should Chris Yarran get at the tribunal?
Oh, look, it's hard to say. I think Jason sort of probably hit the nail on the head before. You can cop the I suppose, the accidental bumps and the stuff that happens in footy, but for the actual aesthetics of the game and the way we see it going forward, we can't be having the simple plain strikes like that. It's something that we've certainly wiped out of our game through the tribunal, through suspensions, and I'm sure the match review panel will see how they fit and obviously come down.
Well, before you leave us, I've just got to, for history's sake, give you the details. You played 160 games for 391 goals at 2.44 per game. You've got Brownie covered by just a little bit, 2.32. You've got a little bit of work to do for Jason, though. He's still El Supremo, 4.66. So keep that in mind when you're lining up.
I never got up the ground like Jack.
And you never got to 90 kilos like Jack either. Good on you, Jack. Good luck for the rest of the year, and you've got a big game against the Demons coming up.
Thanks very much, guys.
Jack Riewoldt, our special guest. And coming up, we reveal the Hawks clearance king, and it's not Lewis, Hodge or Mitchell.